Oh, welcome to another episode of Taylor Complains Comedy Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Perez. It is September 12th in the year of our Lord. I don't know what Lord you worship. Lord Voldemort. If I took off my hat, you would be like, is that fucking Voldy over there? Is that you, Voldy? Uh, we are here. This is a bonus episode. I have get some things to discuss here. First of all, yesterday I posted a banger of an episode. Banger. And it was taken down from YouTube. It's still on Spotify. It is still available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For whatever reason, it violated the YouTube's terms of services because I was clapping for the CEO of United Healthcare and Charlie Kirk being, you know what I mean? So we have to find new ways to address that. Definitely still the same sentiments. Definitely still, you know what I mean? Good job. Good job. But at the same time, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Um, anyways, Charlie Kirk was shot yesterday. He was doing a rally. I was it yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday in front of his wife and children while he was doing one of his rallies, his show, whatever you want to call it. Charlie Kirk is a right wing activist and political speaker, evangelist, opportunist, entrepreneurial. I don't know what you would call him. So he goes to colleges and speaks to college kids who don't have their brains fully formed yet. He says things to them that could be harmful when you have that big of a platform. If I say things like that, I'm an idiot with a microphone. You know, you look at me and you're like, that's the lizard, 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 lizard. You know not to listen to me. I'm an idiot. But we do have Charlie Kirk, who is now not alive anymore. And I assume that you're down there, aren't you, Charlie? You son of a bitch. Roasting chestnuts, roasting on an open fire because the devil has his nuts on your chest and you're on fire. Um, so Charlie Kirk is no longer with us, and it's a good. Today feels a little better, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel a little? It feels a little good without him. I mean, let's just get down to the things that he stood for, what he said, and you know what I mean? Talk a little bit about it. Charlie Kirk, we found reportedly there was a suspect that was found. Charlie Kirk's suspect was reportedly a rich Republican kid whose family turned him in at 22 years old. His name is Tommy Robinson, and he's a MAGA guy, and he's also Christian. So even if I am happy that Charlie Kirk is gone, it's still not my fault. First of all, I'm not political on either side. I don't care about Republicans. I don't care about Democrats. I don't care about the left. Both parties have decent things to say. You know what I mean? I like gun reform, but I think guns are fine. It's in the bill of, not the Bill of Rights. It's in our Constitution, the right to bear arms. We have the right to have guns to defend ourselves against I don't know, whatever. Cops take a long time. You know what I mean? You get it. Someone breaks into your house, they're not your next in me. Tell you that. Just kidding. I don't have a gun. I'm blind in one eye. They're not giving me a gun. I'm blind in one eye. At least they have the sense to not give it to me. I come into that gun shop and I'm looking at everybody with this side of my head and they're like, hey, we got some questions. Can you see that letter over there? I'm like, that's a goose. And they're like, you get the fuck out of here. You're not want a goose. We don't have any geese in here. Get out. It's not my best material. It isn't. Anyways, I like going to Arizona. My family has another house in Arizona. I don't. My parents do because they're part of the generation that gets to live well and retire. I'm never retiring. They laugh at me when I'm like, I can't wait to retire. I'm never retiring. They're like, well, that's what we're doing. You're working until your knees turn to dust. So I like going to their river house. They have a house in Aliso Viejo, California, and then they also have a house in Bullhead, Arizona. We go to Bullhead, Arizona. We shoot, go to right off, ride quads into the desert and shoot cans. It's fun. You know what I mean? Shooting cans, not people. I I don't think you should shoot people. I don't think that that is the answer to what is happening today. But what I do feel like is happening, you go back in time and you look at people like Hitler, who has the same opinions as Charlie Kirk to a degree. Maybe his were far more extreme, but didn't they start out the way Charlie's opinions did? Didn't they start out as ignorant as his did in a society that was very impoverished? Like these were bad times for Germany economically. And Hitler rose to power through people looking for answers and looking for a way out. So they scapegoat the Jews and then he recruits all of them and like the economy does well because of that. For whatever reason, I'm not an economist. I just read history. I know what I read in grade school. You know what I mean? I don't know when you were 10th grade, 11th grade. So it's it's hard because you never want to shoot someone. You never want to shoot United Healthcare CEO. Uh, Was there another way to deal with that though? Like there's a guy who's pushed up against the ropes and he just really wants healthcare for his family and people are dying around him and he feels the only way to get justice is to Rambo it up and just send himself out as a weapon for recourse of the actions that were not taken to save his family or the safeguards that were not put in place to save his family. Insurance companies, they make money, they make other people rich because you pay the policy and then when it comes to pay the piper, you need something for whatever healthcare reason it's not covered in your policy. So and you just upgrade it. So there are things that are pushing people to the brink. Now, Mr. Tommy Robinson, I know nothing about. I have a name, I have a picture, I know, MAGA guy, Christian. I know that. But wasn't the guy who tried to shoot Trump also a MAGA guy? I mean, you guys try to come after the other side so quick. And I'm just hanging out in the middle, like, sure is nice. Man, this water's good. That's what I'm doing. I'm definitely no friend of Charlie Kirk's, though. No friend of Charlie Kirk's. And I know people are like, well, what about his kids? Well, his kids can look at the videos that he posted when they're older and they'll be like, oh, yeah, we're better off without that guy. They'll be like, they'll look down and be like, we're so glad you're down there with chestnuts. We're so just sitting on your chest. It's that joke's never going away because it's a Christmas joke. Very, very whimsical. So we got Tommy Robinson is the assailant for the Charlie Kirk. He's the shooter. Charlie Kirk says that and these are things that he would go to colleges and say. He would go to colleges and he would spit this rhetoric about college is a scam, but there's no rebuttal on how to make money. He would say college is a scam. Women, more women should stay home. More women should stay home. Oh, fuck. Hold on. I should be timing this. More women should stay home. And this is episode 86 and a half because I already posted this, right? I have new notes. I deleted all my notes from yesterday because I thought this was all good, but not all good. It got reported by somebody. I don't care. Just post it again. I hope you report this again. I'll just post another one. I'll just post another one where you cry your MAGA tears. MAGA? I don't know. I don't care. Listen, I'm an independent voter. I don't give a shit. Kamala was stupid. Fucking Trump. Trump's the worst though. So Charlie goes to colleges and spews rhetoric about how women should stay home, but there's no rebuttal. So college is a scam, Charlie. You know what else is a scam? You know what else is a scam? Getting a hole in your neck. Now you can't. Yeah. Now you're stuck down there. Now you're stuck. Hey, Charlie, don't never. It's okay. His wife's gonna date a Nazi in a week. It's gonna be fine. She's gonna go to Huntington Beach. You'd be like, ooh, that guy doesn't deserve. That guy still has a hairline, but he shaves his bald head anyway. And what's that? There's a tattoo of a symbol on the back of his neck. That's perfect for you guys. Perfect. You get to feel bad for a Nazi dying? That's crazy. And he was a Nazi. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I'm very excited. Haven't jacked off today, so I got it in my system. I need to ejaculate this semen out of my system because it's poison. It just makes me very aggressive when I do these podcasts. Not when I'm out in public, okay? I'm not humping legs. Charlie Kirk said more women should stay home and tend to the kids while the men should go out and provide for the household. Cool. So college is a scam. That's what you want. That's a good ideal if we're in fucking 1950 where rent isn't $3,000 a month for a two-bedroom apartment, Charlie. So I should be talking down, I think. I really should. I see the smoke coming up. Is something cooking? Charlie's cooking. Ribs? Ribs? Um, so there's no recourse on how there's no rebuttal on how to make money now as someone without a college education. So I wait tables, I bartend. So lucrative because of the tip system that we have in our culture. I would be fucked if I lived anywhere else. So that is how I am able to make money. That's how I'm able to save money. Very lucrative. I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed to just be able to walk up to random people and yap to them because that makes me so much money. But I mean, there's no, you should go get a trade. You should do this. Like I don't know. If you're going to colleges with like just hate rhetoric, I don't. It just seemed like he liked to debate people and make them upset. And like no matter what debate they came up, well, what about trans people, Charlie? I don't see them as people. What? That's not a rebuttal. Just because you don't recognize someone as a whole human being doesn't mean like you can't have a whole conversation with them about like what your whole platform's about, debating. There was no debate. It was all hate. It was all ignorance. And I just find it hard to sympathize with someone that didn't have a plan. There was no plan for his debates. You should stay home as a woman. Okay, while the guy works 7 jobs? That's insane. That's what immigrants do. And you hate immigrants, Charlie. You hate them. You think that anyone who came here illegally should go back to where they came from. Let's get to it. Charlie says if he sees a black person and a white person doing surgery, he's picking the white. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Charlie says if he sees a black pilot, he hopes they're qualified. And these are all quotes that you can pull from you can pull these quotes from anywhere. I literally saw all these on TikTok and I was like, I'm writing this down, I'm writing that down. And that may not be a reliable source of information, but when it's coming exactly from the person, I mean, they're during his rallies. I mean, let's call them rallies. Because what you're doing is you're proselytizing to these kids who they don't even have a fully formed brain yet. That's why college happens when you're young, so you could absorb all this information because after 25, it's just exponentially harder to be taught these things. It's not impossible. I mean, a moral compass is still attainable when you're old, but like that's why we learn shit when we're young. That's why we're not in, you know what I mean? School's done but by the time you're 18. And then you go to college. And then that lasts until you're what, 23, 24, 25 if you're stupid? I'm just kidding. Shout out to anybody in college just drowning in debt. I definitely feel like the college system is a scam. So we'll play devil's advocate here for a second. I do think it's a scam, but what else are we supposed to do? Going to college is where you're going to graduate and make the most money. That's how you put your best foot forward in the world that's becoming increasingly more and more expensive. So, I mean, I don't shop at Walmart because that's where the poors go. But if I did, I mean, prices are still going up, dude. They're still going up, and there's no minimum wage counterbalance to that. There's no counterweight to like this. This hand is supposed to wash the other hand, and that's how the economy's supposed to get great. But things just keep going up, and then nobody has a rebuttal for this. Especially Charlie Kirk, who they want you all to stay home and take care of kids. I mean, women are lawyers, judges, doctors. Like women can do whatever the fuck they want to do. I'm not a fucking feminist by any means, but like I believe that everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do. You know? You can be a fucking judge as a lady. You could be a pilot as a black person. Like those things don't disqualify you from anything and they're not deterrents from you to do anything to not do anything. I just don't I'm not here for the horse shit like you're a woman, blah blah. Like that shit's over. That shit never should have started to begin with. It was just this hunter-gatherer shit that we carried on from the caveman days and we never evolved. Now it's time to evolve. Chicks can do whatever the fuck they want. Men can do whatever they want. Like people of color can do whatever they want. But what you can't do is have a platform that's that big and then just use it to spew hateful shit that's going to bring us back like 50 years. This guy wanted slavery back. Let's keep going. Charlie says if his 10-year-old daughter was raped, that he would make her have the baby. He says that abortion is worse than the Holocaust. That's an insane statement to make to a child. A child that probably looks up to you, an 18-year-old that just got out of class, like, oh my God, Charlie Kirk's here. And you're telling them that abortion is worse than the Holocaust. You're Andrew Tating all over prestigious Ivy League schools and just preaching hate shit to people. And I know, listen, I'm up here saying, ha ha, you're dead. That's how I feel. Ha ha, you're dead. That's exactly how I feel. And hopefully your kids watch your videos when they're old enough and they're like, hey, let's pile a few more piles of dirt on there to make sure that dad doesn't come up as a zombie because that would be one hateful zombie. We don't even want him coming back as a zombie because we know that he'd like, you know what I mean? He tried to do the salute. He'd be the only zombie with one arm higher than the other one, and we'd be like, that's either Elon Musk or Charlie Kirk. I Horrible dude. Horrible dude. But definitely can't definitely can't shoot everybody that you're mad at. You know what I mean? But what else? What else is there? You know? Even I'm not condoning gun violence, right? You can't that's not how the world works. We can't just be like, "Oh, you're bad, shoot." Or Vladimir Putin wouldn't be here anymore. Jeffrey Epstein wouldn't be here. I mean, he's not here because of, you know what I mean? But people knew what he was doing before he did it. You know what I mean? He had victims, but they couldn't just pop them. You know what I mean? We live in a society where that's not allowed. So I definitely condemn gun violence across the board, right? That's not how we deal with issues. But did I clap? Absolutely. Absolutely. Charlie says being gay is a sin. Charlie says rap music is degenerative and has set this country back years and years. I wish to go back to the time of the music of when this country was great. What the fuck is that? Like the music that kids would listen to before they got shipped off to Vietnam? They didn't have anything else. Like this music is like the product of fucking society, dude. This is what like rap came from blues music. Rap came from rock and roll. Like all the music that you like that you said make this country great, rap came from that. So I don't know. Were you there during the halftime show? Everybody seemed to love. Listen. I don't think rap music is good live, but I love underground hip hop. Shout out to Aesop Rock. If you guys not Aesop Rocky, Aesop Rock. If you guys, he's the best hip hop artist of all time. I love Aesop Rock. Yes, he's white, but it doesn't matter. He's still good. He's a skater, skate culture, LA based. I love that dude. I love that dude. And all the dudes he collabs with are sick. MF Doom's sick. But yeah, no, the commercial rap I don't really get, but I'm not glad. I don't want it to not exist. I'm glad DMX exists. You know what I mean? All you men's that been to jail before, suck my dick. DMX is, you know what I mean? Barks, thinks he's a dog. It's fine. He's fine. Chasing mailmen. He only chased mailmen because he was on crack, not because he thought he was a dog. Uh, I'm sorry, Earl Simmons. But yeah, rap music is degenerative and has set the country back years and years. I mean, like, it's just culture, dude. Like, it's just other people's cult. Like, you don't like culture. You don't like black culture. You don't like Mexican culture. Like, I'm half Mexican. I grew up with like 100 cousins, dude. And like, I don't remember all their names, but I don't just eat chicken tenders because I had flavor as a child. And I got to taste all those flavors and be around like the culture and the music. Mariachi music is fucking for pores. But I mean, all Mexican death metal, Mexican hardcore, like Spanish hardcore, like it's all fucking rad, dude. Charlie Kirk would hear someone speaking Spanish in an alley and just like run for his life, dude. Run for his life. Meanwhile, the guy's just selling corn with mayonnaise on it. Like, dude, culture fucking rules. And you're such a pussy. And you died like such a pussy because you did. I mean, who knows? Maybe Charlie Kirk would have turned it around and realized like I'm a pussy and I'm teaching all these kids to be pussies. And like I need to teach them like you shouldn't be afraid of culture. Culture's fucking sick. That's where all of our fashion, but all the things that you love come from people that don't look like you, dude. Immigrants do all the coolest jobs, like they fucking farm all the shit that we eat. The shittiest thing about immigration is they come to this country and they take lesser wages than you. So just make coming to this country easier and then fucking we won't have to pay they'll get paid a fair wage, they'll get benefits that I mean, coming to this country isn't that great as an immigrant. I got to tell you. Like my grandma had to work in an orange packing factory because she immigrated here from Mexico. My grandpa worked on a fucking ranch. My grandpa is one of those Mexicans. He wears like the cowboy hat and the flannel shirt tucked in with the cowboy, but like it's like you want to shake him and just be like, dude, like True Grit was just a movie, but like that's a lifestyle to him, dude. Like he just with the belt buckle, like he just never left. He never left the John Wayne movies. Like he was just a man's man, and like that's dope, and it's rad. But I feel like my grandpa would have voted for Trump, and that bums me out. I don't know. I don't know if he would have or wouldn't have. You know what I mean? My grandpa doesn't speak a lot of English, so our relationship is very much just like I show up, I give him a hug, I kiss him on the cheek, and I'm like, hey, I love you. It's good to see you. And that's all. I don't think that the communication goes further than that. But also, he's got hundreds and hundreds of like of grandchildren and shit, and like the grandchildren now have great grandchildren. Like the lineage is just insane. All I'm saying is Charlie Kirk built a platform that hated culture, and he was going to have a following that hated culture. What did Hitler do? He built a following that hated culture. It's and I'm not trying to be I'm not I'm listen, I don't do the woke shit. I love the R word. Listen. I love the R word. I call stuff gay when I don't like it. I'm not about censoring people. But is there a difference from what I'm doing than for what Charlie Kirk's doing in front of impressionable college kids at a massive, massive more scale than what I'm doing it as? And he was even more intelligible than me by a large margin. I'm sitting here like I sound retarded. But be that as it may, I'm not condoning going out and popping somebody. Can't do that. I mean, plus we live in a civilized society. In a perfect world, Charlie Kirk would just be in jail for the rest of his life for hate speech, for dangerous hate speech that could carry on through generations and generations, perpetuating the same racism that we're trying to get away from. We just want to go out, go shopping, high five people, have fun, go to the bar, and just chill. Watch the football game. Go Patriots. That's what we want, dude. We want the Patriots to win another Super Bowl. We're tired of Kansas City. But what do you do when you got kids and they're growing up and they're idolizing people like Charlie Kirk? They come home to you one day and they're like, "Man, I hope that our pilot's white today when we go on our vacation, Dad." What do you say to that? What? Where do you even hear that? Who gives a shit what color the pilot is? All I care about is the fucking plane goes up, plane goes down at a gradual rate. None of this Con Air, fucking Nicolas Cage, pretending to be Cajun shit. Plane goes up, plane goes down. Acceptable, acceptable speed for a plane. Turbulence makes me shit my pants, so if you could avoid that, that'd be cool. But listen, land the plane, fly the plane. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't know. I don't understand why that matters. The only time it does matter, though, I'll tell you this: Asians make my penis so hard, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Is it mental illness? And this is a racism that I'm working on. Okay, I'll beat off to anybody. I don't care if whatever size, whatever fucking color. A hot lady is a hot lady. Okay, but when those Asians walk up, my knees get weak, and I'm like you know what I mean. I hope my tongue is still in my mouth. I hope it is. I'm just be respectful, be respectful, be respectful. Ha, ha, ha. I try to say hi, but it sounds like I have MS. It's like I don't know what happened. I start to look like I had a stroke, the one that Trump looked like he had. I don't know what's going on with that guy's face is melting. It is melting. And I say that having a face that looks disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. This podcast is way better than the last one that I did. And the last one, the one that got deleted is on Spotify and Apple right now. It's not on YouTube because it got removed. This one's way better. I like this one better. It's less factually driven and more let's talk about Asians and beating off. Because that's the core of this podcast. I just I don't know what it is about Asian women. I just like I was watching a glory hole video last night at like midnight. This Asian lady was just going to town. My whole body was hard. My knees were straight, my elbows, like every joint in my body hurt. I was like, I'm going to pull my own wiener off if I keep doing this. I can't. It's just, I get too excited. I get too excited. These Asian ladies, they're so, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're not on Terminal Island anymore. I don't blame you for Pearl Harbor at all. I, I'm so glad that we have other people here. That's all I'm saying. I'm so glad because doctors, scientists, researchers, like our fucking country is the best because it has everybody. It has everybody in it. You could be gay here, and that's fucking rad. Okay, you could be as long as you're not one of the gays that's hi. Ah, those are the worst kinds. Ugh. Listen, I wish you happiness, but not that much. Not that where you float, you're like, hello. That's that kind of happiness I can't deal with. I can't. I try. I'll try. I'll try, you know what I mean? I'll go to dinner with anybody, I'll hang out with anybody, but like if you're overly if your personality is just like over the top, I can't. And it's not just gays. It's anybody that's like that. Like those people that like whistle at work like do 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 like just so happy. What are you happy about? You better knock it off. You make the same as me. You better shut the hell up right now. All right. What else did Charlie Kirk say? Charlie Kirk says Palestine doesn't exist. Well, the United States has an ally with Israel, I think. From the listen, I'm not a learned person. I'm just someone that pontificates. Don't come to me for fucking advice, professionalism. Don't come to me with that shit. Because I don't think that I possess that. Okay. But Charlie Kirk says Palestine doesn't exist. I think Israel is an ally long term of the United States. It's not in our best interest to protect Palestine, even though there's a genocide and they're just destroying them. And it's heartbreaking and tragic and it sucks. Why do we not help them? Because we get more by staying out of Israel's way because they're more of a ally to us than Palestine would be. That is what I have heard. That is why we do this. I don't agree with it, but I think Palestine does exist. Point to it on a map. That's what he'd say. Point to it on a map. I don't know, dude. There's people here from fucking Palestine. There's people that live here that have Palestinian parents and they're fucking living there and it's just hell. And then they come to Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk's like, point to it to me on a map. It's like, dude, I'll fucking zoom my mom who's got maggots in her eyes because she can't eat. Nobody can eat over there. The maggots are eating my mom's eyes. Just like no compassion. You know what I mean? He didn't have compassion of people for people that died from gun violence. He said, Charlie Kirk says that if you die from gun violence, that's a statistic that's collateral damage that is necessary to have guns. It doesn't, but that doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be like that. Gun reform isn't bad. Gun reform just makes sure that crazy people don't get fucking guns. You get a Vietnam vet that comes back here every time a firework goes off. He's hiding under the fucking floor. He's hiding under the coffee table with the dog. Don't give that guy a gun. Thank you for your service, but that guy's seen stuff. That guy needs to be helped, reacclimated. He needs benefits. He needs help. We need to advocate for our veterans as well because they fucking fought for us. They deserve to be taken care of. Don't just give them guns when they come back, dude. Don't give them the full metal jacket when he comes back because they need to be reacclimated. Charlie Kirk's, well, what about veterans? What about veterans when they come back? Don't they deserve guns? They protected us with them. Yeah, dude, but nobody's firing at them here. Take the gun away, reacclimate them, give them better services and help, then give them the guns back. That's all we're saying. We're not saying veterans don't deserve security and the ability to defend themselves. We're saying just fucking have common sense gun reform. Common sense. I'm not saying be crazy, be stringent. Just common sense gun reform, dude. A little bit, a little bit. Guy wants an Uzi? Nah, you don't need a Uzi. Yeah, you don't need an Uzi. Probably not that. How about a little gun, little guy, whatever they are. Noisy cricket, Men in Black. How about noisy cricket? Illegal aliens are criminals, Charlie Kirk would say. Again, I don't think illegal. I can't stop thinking about Asians. I can't. I can't stop. I can't stop, man. She was just, whoa, whoa, dude. I exploded all over the bathroom. It looked like it looked like that slime Pokemon just climbed up the walls. It looks like someone unleashed a snail farm in there. It looked crazy. Just snail goo everywhere. Look, oh fuck. Okay, illegal aliens are not criminals. They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're people. They fucking. Should we get the ones out of here that have like criminal records? Maybe. I don't know. What's the crime? You stole an apple, so you had to do a night in jail because the farmer's market you took it from pressed charges? No. That's probably that's that's a mulligan. That's a mulligan in my opinion. I mean, guys, a chomo, that guy's got to get out of here. But all chomos got to get out of here. We all agree that kid stuff is gross. Get the chomos out, dude. I don't like chomo. What's up, chomo? We don't it's your mom's house reference. What's up, chomo? We don't like them. We don't like those people. Get them out of here. Super agreed. Get the crazy murder. Got to get out. You got to go to another. You got listen. You got a lot of other countries that will let you in, and they'll give you a mulligan for murder. Yeah, you got to get out of here. But like going to fucking kids' high school graduations in ICE uniforms and taking their dads and moms away. That sucks, dude. And isn't there a time and a place like to get people? You can't just no, we're gonna go to this high school graduation and take these kids. Like, and Charlie was all for it. Get them out of here, he said. Well, someone got you out of here. Abortion is worse than Holocaust. We said that. It's dangerous to go to college campuses and preach this to kids who aren't even fully developed. I said that. Hitler preached rhetoric during these kinds of times in Germany. We talked about that. This is already a better episode. This is already a better one. Moonhide's gonna listen to this and be like, this one was better. This one was a lot better. The last one, a lot of politics. This one, at least you talk about Asians. We talked so much about Asians. That might be my prejudice, but it's like reversed because they make me come so fast. Listen, I've had sex with a couple Asian people. It is so embarrassing how fast I come. It's instantaneous. I do not have the proclivities and the attributes to have sex with an Asian person for longer than a minute. It's like Mount Vesuvius, just geyser, phew, like a bottle rocket. I'm so sorry. I'm probably in a book somewhere of do not bang again because I embarrassed myself because she wore a little skirt and she had the socks that went up past the knees up into the thigh area. I was already hurting through that date. I was already hurting and I'm like, I don't have a game plan for this. I'm going to run zone defense. They're going to blitz, but I'm running a zone defense because I'm not leaving two wide receivers out in the flat without any protection. Oh, she blitzed. She blitzed and the QB got sacked and it was 17 seconds long. And we got a penalty backed up to the our own 20-yard line. Listen, I could I'm too manly. I'm too manly. Asians in football. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Empathy for Charlie Kirk. Do we have empathy for Charlie Kirk? What about when Charlie Kirk called George Floyd a criminal and said he's not mourning the death of a criminal? Or when Nancy Pelosi's husband got hit with a hammer and then Trump's son dressed up in underwear and a hammer for Halloween? We don't see a lot of empathy on on the right side of the spectrum. I think all the empathy comes from the left. We just don't have not we. They just don't have a lot of empathy for this guy because he was a hate speech rhetoric artist, dude. Like he just like I don't know, dude. Like he would make fun of people for dying from gun violence. Well, like that's a statistic. That's a statistic. And now your rhetoric's made you a statistic, dude. I don't know where this guy's from, but like from where I'm from, you gotta fucking be nice to people. I grew up in Santa Ana where there was like a big gang culture. Like you can't just go and say whatever the fuck you want to people, dude. There's consequences. You grew up in I mean, I grew up in Santa Ana for like 10 years and then I moved to South Orange County. But I mean, I still, you know what I mean? You go on the wrong street, people ask you where you're from. You answer the wrong fucking street, they beat the shit out of you. It's It's not the same, dude. And I look white. So that's automatically getting beat up. They don't know that I'm Mexican. They don't know I'm Hispanic. Unless I tell people my last name's Perez, they think I'm just white, which is fine. I don't have a problem with people's perceptions. I know where I came from, and I know the culture that raised me and brought me up as a person. But like, dude had no idea what the real world was like. He didn't know that there was consequences for just spouting your mouth off, saying whatever the fuck you want. I just, and I'm not on here saying he deserved it, right? I'm glad it happened. I'm so glad it happened, dude. That guy was dangerous to kids. Dangerous to kids. Like Jeffrey Epstein, just not physical. He was mentally dangerous to kids. They made dangerous to the development of the younger people. I don't want to live with that fucking generation. Hold on, got to snort. I don't want to live with the generation that's brought up with Charlie Kirk and his hate shit. I cannot stop thinking about Asians. How many times am I going to bring this up? Dude, I straight to porn after this. Straight to porn. I earned it. I earned porn after this. Man, I know exactly the one I'm gonna watch too. She's all wrapped up in this leather outfit. Whoa. We gotta finish this fucking show. We gotta get this shit over with. Um, South Park pulls the episode of Charlie Kirk, even though Charlie Kirk liked it. I think this was just Comedy Central that pulled the episode. It's still available on Paramount Plus. They parodied Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Charlie said he liked it. So I say no harm, no foul on that one. Uh, I did unfollow like 50 people that were like, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You were so great." I mean, Nazi sympathizing is not something that I'm gonna take lightly. I I'm out. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm out. I'm not doing Nazi sympathy. It's not happening. We're not doing this. The guy was a Nazi. I don't like Beyonce's music. It just sucks. Just say you don't like Beyonce's music because she's black, dude. You already said you don't want a black pilot. You said you don't want a black surgeon. Just say you don't like people because they're not the same color as you. That you want to recolonize. Well, let's get those 13 colonies back. That's what the stripes are for. And take away the stars. And just what are we? Africa too? That was bad. That was bad. Well, I don't know. And that joke was just based on like what he would perceive us as, because his colonies would just be all white people. I could get in because I look white and because I'm bald, but this isn't by choice. This is bad genetics. You look at my face, bad genetics written all over it. Lizard, lizard, lizard. It is what it is. But I'm not. I might have to title this "I Need Asian Intervention" because you know what? And it's only been two Asians that I've been with, only two. One of them I was in like a high school, so that doesn't count. But dude, I've dated a ton of them, but I've only slept with one, two. I hooked up with one, and that was a joke because I failed so miserably at that. I dated the other one. I had sex with the other one, and she still chose to date me. It was insane. Dude, I'm never gonna be able to crack the code of like, how do I last in an Asian vagina? You just don't, dude. Asian women exist to just, they're smarter than you. They have genitals that will never allow you to look good because you will always be trumped by that. They're like superior beings. If anything, they're the superior race. That's what I think. I don't, just goddesses, statues of people. They're just statue people walking around. Just they're all fit. They all look good. Oh, we got to get at it. This podcast is over. I unfollow a lot of Charlie Kirk sympathizers. Just I don't have room for Nazis. I just don't have room for them. I don't. Dude was a Nazi. You can say whatever you want, but I mean, there's so much proof, dude. Just Google anything that I brought up. There's so much proof. If Charlie Kirk's kids start to miss him, they can pull up clips of him, and they won't miss him anymore. It's true. It's true. Bury him deeper. Dad's not deep enough. I don't. If you want Charlie Kirk back, I'm sure there's some satanic ritual you can do that he's probably, he'll probably come back. Republican TikTokers are declaring war on the libs. Well, not anymore because you found out it was one of yours. You should probably get your own people in check because there's a lot of hate on that side of the political spectrum. A lot of hate. Not a lot of diplomacy going on over there. Charlie Kirk game. Things that remind me of Charlie Kirk. What reminds you of Charlie Kirk now? Donuts, Swiss cheese, bagels, Lifesavers candy, Cheerios, old underwear with the holes in them, Wells, Alien Earth because of the plot holes, potholes, and mouths. Mouths because now Charlie has one on his neck. See, we write new joke. Yesterday, the ending joke was Charlie went to Target in the afternoon and he became one at night. Well, reverse the time frames. I gotta go. You guys have gotten a lot out of me in the last week, and I'm so happy to give it to you. I have a date with an Asian. I love you. Kisses, hugs, belly rubs. Take care of yourself. Be safe.